What's up, guys? It's your boy Darkskin, and today we're going to be talking about next week's PvP buff. If you guys don't know, there's obviously PvP buffs for ranked, geared, if you will. And next week's buff is going to be decreases all heroes' damage taken by 50% when assuming stances. So, with that being the case, obviously anybody with a counter or assumes a stance is going to be taking a lot less damage. Now, there are, I want to say 4 or 5 units that use stances and or counters, I believe. And we're going to be talking about them and everything like that. So, as you can see, you can go to a skill filter, and it can filter out exactly what you want, well, exactly what you're looking for. I'm not really sure I know SR Bond has one. I'm not sure what you would call it though. Right? So I mean, like, if you click counter right here, you can obviously see all the people with counter, but I don't know what you would call Bond's ability. So, like, I'm not sure as far as that one. I don't know. I don't know what you would call his. Recovery? Maybe? No? Not reflect? I don't know what you would call his. But anyways, the main ones I wanted to talk about are these units right here. Like I said, SR Bond also has one. But if you're, there's no, like, I literally don't know what you would call this. I guess. I don't know. It just says assumes the stance, blah, blah, blah. So, anyways, talking about the characters that have it, that do have stances. Esterosa is obviously the first comes to mind. He's the main one that comes to mind. Next week, Esterosa is going to take 50% less damage whenever he uses his you know, taunt, his counter. The thing about that is there's not really anyone in the game that can stop him already. But now, this is how I dealt with Esterosa. I would rush Valenti ult, because when Esterosa counters, he buffs himself with his passive. I would rush Valenti ult and I would one-shot him. That's what I would do. Keep in mind, Valenti's ult does double damage to buffed units. Well, if Esterosa is negating 50% of the damage, Valenti's rupture technically doesn't exist, right? So instead of her doing double damage, it'll just be base damage, because it's like, if you're at 100% and you multiply it times 2, it becomes 200%, but then you take 50% of that damage, it's 100%. So, yeah, so I'm not going to be able to one-shot Esterosa with Valenti next week. I'm not really sure how you would counter this, or how you would stop this necessarily. I don't know. But Esterosa is definitely going to be a powerhouse next week. And if you don't have Esterosa, oh boy, it is going to get bad for you. Me included. I don't have Esterosa. I may actually have to summon again just to get Esterosa, because if you don't have him next week, it's going to be bad. Not to mention, he has UR gear. Not to mention, a lot of people have him, you know, max duped or 4-6 or whatever. You know, a lot of the higher players, it's going to be bad, boy. It is going to be bad. It is going to be bad. It's safe to say, if you have Esterosa and you're not using him this week, you want to make sure 100% that you're using him next week, because the rule with the increased damage, or increased type advantage and decreased type disadvantage, that's going to be gone next week. So now Esterosa can counter red units as well. So he's going to be taking 50% less damage from everybody, and he can now counter red units and do damage. This week, you don't do any damage to Gother, right? If you counter, you don't do no damage. But now you are going to be able to do a lot of damage to everybody, and you're going to be taking less damage. Not to mention, there's not that many red units that are good anyways, right? Okay, that's just cap. Actually, I completely forgot about Mono Red. Mono Red is gonna be probably coming back simply because the advantage disadvantage thing is gone. So Mono Red is probably gonna be a thing again, most likely. So I mean, if you don't have Esterosa, your best bet is probably Mono Red and trying to one-shot him with Escanor, because even though Escanor is going to be doing 50% less damage, I feel like 50% of Escanor's damage still might one-shot. If he has, like, you know, level 3 Arthur buff, level 3 card type deal, pretty sure he's going to be good. So, on that front, yeah, Esterosa, I don't know what he's going to do about that. But a couple of other characters is SR Hauser, which his stance is not good at all. Assumes a stance for one turn, inflicts damage equal to 160, 240, or 400% of attack via counter when an ally is attacked. So if you're attacked, you don't get it, but if an ally is, you attack. Cool. Now, he has the same exact one, 160, 240, 400. Attacks when an ally is attacked. This is Fat King, by the way, Blue Fat King. And it's just like, I don't know. Those two are just not that good. Then moving on to, because this is the thing, right? These two, you want them to attack someone else, but you're the one that's getting damage reduction, so it doesn't make sense, right? So we're gonna get them out of here. Now, Green Meliodas, this guy right here, he might shout out to Sekapoko. If you guys haven't watched a lot of his videos, he's made a couple videos on counter Meliodas in PvP among other things, and the guy is a beast. Now with this rule, this dude, I would not be surprised if counter Meliodas became like a staple unit in a team for the duration of the week with this rollout. I would not be surprised if he was a staple unit, because the only downside, right, to him you having this counter is that he had no damage reduction. Granted, it was based on missing HP, but it's like once you get to those super low percents, you want to stay alive. So now that he has that, I mean, his counter just becomes amazing. A lot of people used to mistake his counter for Blue SR Meliodas counter, which gives damage reduction at rank 2. At rank 1, it's 200% for one turn. At rank 2, it's 300% attack, but it's 50% decreased damage. So with the new rule, he just doesn't take damage. Now, I don't think it's multiplied, so I don't think it's 100%. I think it's kind of additive, where it's like 50% of the damage, and then that 50%. So let's say you do 1,000 damage, which 1,000 is a weird number. Let's say you do 1,500 damage. So 50% of 1,500 is going to be 750. Now let's say you do 50% of 750. I feel like that's how it works. I don't think it's just 100%. But I don't know. I haven't tested it. Long story short, he's going to be taking next to no damage with this card. Now, him taking 50% less is going to be amazing as well. I don't know. I would not be surprised if people came out with this unit on some type of team. But yeah, the rule next week is going to be I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. I don't know. A lot of people are going to be running Esterosa, and that counter is going to get a lot more crazier next week. So, but yeah, that's all I want to talk about with you guys. That's going to be about it for this video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. With that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.